2030, The Wrath of the Sun. Introduction, a dangerous discovery. It started with a simple observation. In 2025, Dr. Rehan, a renowned astrophysicist, noticed an anomaly in the sun's radiation levels. His research revealed a terrifying truth. The sun was moving closer to Earth at an alarming rate. It wasn't a typical solar cycle, it was something far worse. Dr. Rehan worked day and night, analyzing satellite images, measuring radiation spikes, and consulting with experts worldwide. The data was undeniable. By 2030, the sun's intense heat and radiation would make life on Earth nearly impossible. He rushed to present his findings to world leaders, urging them to take action. But politicians, caught in their endless debates over economy and war, dismissed his warnings. Fear-mongering, they called it, an exaggeration. Some scientists backed him, but the majority refused to believe that something so catastrophic could happen so soon. Governments continued their focus on short-term goals, blind to the apocalypse creeping closer. Dr. Rehan knew he had little time. If no one else would listen, he had to act alone. 2030, the beginning of destruction. The first signs of disaster appeared in mid-2029. Temperatures soared, crossing 60 degrees Celsius, 140 degrees Fahrenheit, in many parts of the world. People collapsed from heat stroke just minutes after stepping outside. Oceans boiled. Water levels dropped, exposing the skeletons of ancient creatures that had been hidden beneath the waves for millennia. Rivers turned to dust, cracks formed in the earth, and what little water remained was toxic and undrinkable. Crops failed, entire farmlands withered, leaving nothing but dry husks of what was once food. Mass extinction began. Birds fell from the sky, unable to breathe. Livestock perished in the unbearable heat. Even insects, the most resilient species, started to disappear. Cities became death traps. Air conditioning units failed under the extreme temperatures. Power grids collapsed. Fires spread uncontrollably, reducing entire towns to ash. For the first time, the world realized Dr. Rehan had been right, but it was already too late. The fall of cities. As the crisis worsened, civilization began to unravel. Governments fell into chaos. Leaders had no answers. Protests turned into riots. People demanded solutions, but none existed. Survival became war. Those with food and water became targets. Gangs formed, looting whatever was left. The police and military could not stop the madness. The wealthy fled underground. Billionaires, world leaders, and their closest allies retreated into high-tech bunkers, abandoning the rest of the population. Markets and businesses shut down. There was no more economy, only survival. Money lost its value. The new currency was water and food. Daylight became deadly. Anyone who ventured outside risked blindness or death. People became creatures of the night, emerging only after sunset in search of supplies. Within months, the world that had taken thousands of years to build had crumbled into dust. Mysterious creatures emerged from the earth, but humanity's suffering had only just begun. As the surface of the earth dried and cracked, something else began to emerge. They came from below, strange, towering figures, their elongated limbs stretching unnaturally in the moonlight. Glowing eyes, hollow faces. These creatures did not resemble anything recorded in human history. No sound, no communication. They moved silently, watching from the shadows. First contact, violent and terrifying. Survivors in remote areas reported attacks. People vanished without a trace. Those who witnessed it said the creatures didn't kill, they took. Were they ancient beings awakened by the sun's wrath? Or something extraterrestrial drawn to a dying world? No one knew. What was certain was this: Humanity was no longer alone. Of the battle for human survival, Dr. Rehan, hidden in his underground laboratory, refused to give up. With his remaining team of scientists, he worked on a desperate solution: the solar barrier. This technology, if successful, would create a protective shield over small areas, blocking the sun's deadly rays and making survival possible. The first test, success, a small town in Canada, once abandoned, became habitable again under the energy dome. The world took notice. Nations that had once ignored Dr. Rehan now begged for his help. The powerful acted selfishly. Instead of sharing the technology, governments used it only to protect their elite. The rest of the world was left to die. Outside the domes, the earth burned. Inside, the privileged lived in artificial safety. It was a cruel, divided world, and the creatures, they were still watching. The conclusion: the search for a new home. By 2032, it was clear Earth was beyond savvy.